Hello friends. You asked me a lot to write down a new top weapon in the game. Today we will look at what is now top 1. And before we start, please subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. And so in the game we have a lot of weapons and we will go in a chaotic order, placing the best at the top and the worst will be located at the bottom of the table. Let's start with the first weapon that caught my eye, and this is our crossbow. This weapon is very powerful because it has a double attack effect when fully charged. There are many interesting skins that will boost damage from fire or slow down enemies. Also, charging attacks work as a launch attack and cause more damage. The weapon is really good, but it also has disadvantages, and one of them is a very low attack speed, difficult to wield in PvP mode. It is very difficult to aim a shot at the enemy. This weapon is really very rarely used by players, but sometimes it can still be found in PvP mode with a certain skin that slows down the enemy's attack. Perhaps I will only classify it in the C rank position. The next weapon we'll talk about is the Mini Atreus toy, a joke weapon that the developers introduced into the game a couple of years ago. Actually, at first it was fun and it could only be obtained through donation and then over the course of a couple of months. It has no advantages, although the only thing that can be said is that by using this weapon you will receive a little more gold than usual. How the weapon appeared: the Mini Archero toy was lost in the last places of any rank. Now this weapon is difficult to get because it does not drop out of chests and periodically appears in some events. Feel free to assign it to the very last rank D and simply forget about it. The weapon that many players dreamed of when it appeared, and this is the demonic sword. Indeed, even now this weapon is very often used in all game modes. It is an alternative to the top weapons that you will see next. A very consistently strong weapon that changes the form of attack. It can be controlled both in close combat and in long-range combat. It has a lot of cool skins that are powered by cool power-ups. It's quite easy to assemble and really helps with gameplay. One of the benefits of the weapon is increased crit damage as well as a slight restoration of health. I myself played with it a lot and was always pleased. Suitable for beginners and rank B. And now we'll talk about the weapon with which it all began, and this is the bow. Yes, indeed, it is still relevant now. It is very easy to assemble, which makes it possible to obtain the highest gradation in the near future. The attack speed as well as the crit damage that the bow has is the greatest advantage of the weapon. Used in all game modes, of course it may be a little weak for higher levels, but for slightly lower ones it will be excellent for good farming. It has a lot of cool skins that you can get without much effort. I just love this weapon. I often play with the bow in PvP mode and don't regret it. My opinion is that rank A. It's time to talk about boomerang. The weapon is quite old and lately it has been used less and less in the game. The developers are constantly giving out new skins for free, and this makes you think. There are a couple of advantages it has. The first is that the boomerang deals increased damage when it returns to your hand. This can sometimes help, and also the further the boomerang flies, the damage will also increase. It is very easy to get this weapon and you will always have skins for it. Personally, having been playing the game for more than 4 years, I played with a boomerang at the very beginning when I didn't understand anything. Now it's gone. There are many other cool options and my rank is C. The spear is one of the most underrated weapons in the game. Excellent animation. The availability of this weapon is at a high level. It is very easy to use in the game. On lower chapters it kills mobs very quickly. The ideal skills are diagonal arrows, multi-shot and ricochet. It has a lot of cool skins that are not expensive. A unique ability: when you attack the same targets, the damage increases. This works great on bosses or, for example, in PvP mode. At the very last gradation it will pierce enemies and thereby cause even more damage. Let me remind you that this is one of the most underrated weapons in the game, and of course, why not give it a high rank, namely rank A? This is the ideal place for this magnificent weapon. The next weapon with which my views diverged long ago was the staff. Some will say that this weapon is the only one that is in high gradation, but I don't think so. The only advantage that the staff has is that its projectiles chase the enemy. The skill of diagonal arrows is ideal, and that's where all the advantages end. Loading of this weapon is very slow and it is very easy to hide from the flight of the projectile. When I meet opponents who play with the staff in PvP, I enjoy it because I know that this is a 99% victory. Once upon a time the staff was very cool. Many players did not know how to avoid it. But now it is an honorable last place in my personal top, specifically rank D. Friends, it was the saw that for a long time did not let me understand where to put it at what rank. Personally, I really like this weapon. Let's talk a little about the advantages. Of course, its attack speed. It's the fastest weapon in the game, and at the same time it's the weakest weapon in the game. Sometimes speed compensates for damage, and thus the saw is often used in PvP mode. Let me also say that it is very easy to assemble a saw, and for many players this weapon will be the first to receive the maximum gradation. Wow, that's a tough choice, since I often see this weapon in PvP mode and farming with it is very fast, so I'll still give the saw a B rank. The scythe is an excellent weapon and one of the most powerful in the game, not to mention the C-grad, a very versatile weapon with excellent skills that greatly enhance different elements such as fire. It is quite easy to assemble and also has one of the coolest skills in the entire game. This skill only works in PvE mode and only on mobs. When the mobs have 35% health left, it is with the help of a scythe that you can deliver a fatal shot. But there are also disadvantages, namely the attack speed. This is the slowest weapon in the game. I rarely use it in PvP mode, but I very often use the scythe in chapters where there are very strong mobs with a lot of health. Whatever my rank is B. You thought that I would really start talking about the top weapons right away. No guys, I'll start the top 3 weapons right now. The antique sword is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It has both melee and ranged attacks, can break through walls, and is ideal for completing the legendary challenge. Has many advantages such as strong attack, moderate attack speed. When hitting an enemy, the attack speed becomes higher, and when killing an enemy, it charges and deals more damage. It is quite rarely used in PvP mode, but with this weapon you can go through the entire game. I would confidently put it in the top place, but so far only rank A. Until recently, the most powerful weapon in the game and the first weapon in the S grade, that's where it all started. An ideal weapon in terms of strength, appearance, attack speed, and convenience. Possesses many abilities and unique skills. Yes, friends, these are fists. Oh, how all the players dreamed and still dream of getting their hands on the fists. An ideal weapon for all game modes, it is extremely difficult to get and it is almost impossible to transfer to a high gradation, of course, if you are not a millionaire. This weapon has an active skill, which in some cases can help. At the moment the game, and I think it will be extremely relevant in the coming year. Of course, rank S. And here is the long-awaited top one, and this is the Heavenly Hammer. Yes, indeed, this weapon is now the top in the game. The strength of the weapon is very large, the mechanics are complex, but if you get used to it, you will simply be delighted with it. It's extremely difficult to assemble, and in some cases it's simply impossible. Personally, I don't yet have a hammer in my possession to record the video. A huge number of bonuses, almost all of which are related to lightning damage. There are also a couple of skins that will bring something new to the hammer, used in PvP as a meta, and in PvE as a double meta. A very amazing weapon but difficult to get. And an honorable first place, and I would even say that this is a little higher than rank S may by S+. Friends, this is my personal top weapon in 2024. Your opinions on some weapons may not coincide with mine, this is normal. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like. Thank you and see you soon everyone.